Welcome to Two Poor Artists, where we're poor at guiding Santa's sleigh through the night with our shiny noses. But mostly, we're poor at making art. I'm Isaac.
And my name is Benj. And today, we are drawing Rudolph.
Rudolph, as in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Yes, because of our adventures that we've been experiencing with him these last... I guess it was just all one day, but it feels like it's been...
we've been expounding, we've been unpacking this
we've been
adventure.
Talking about it for weeks.
When you have an encounter with Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, it sits in your heart heavy. Heavy in the heart.
And we can't just we can't just like let it happen once a couple weeks ago and then.
Like when you think back on a heavy memory in your life, like you can only think of it for so long before your eyes well up and your heart explodes with sorrow and joy and all the other feelings Christmas invokes, Yeah. I don't know what it is about Christmas time where you and I just have the strangest encounters with wondrous people from Christmas lore.
Sometimes we're looking out for them,
Every once
Santa,
in a while.
we've been trying.
But if
to get in touch with him.
If you haven't been reading our descriptions of the last few videos about our recent journey with Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, then go check it out, because the reason we're drawing Rudolph today is really to help drive home the importance of this noble Yuletide character. He is so misunderstood.
Yeah.
And his true story is much different than the one you've read in fairy tales and in puppet shows.
Yeah. I don't think we're not trying to paint him as some hero that has no blemishes.
No, because no hero worth mentioning, except for Jesus, has, no blemishes.
We're trying to show him how he is.
As he is. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
We just don't... if you've read any of our descriptions, we don't hide anything.
No, we don't.
It's just a full, unedited story.
On display for all to see. Upon this merry time of the year.
Like when we were with Frosty, like you guys all have heard the story of Frosty.
Yeah.
But like no one ever talks about going to jail.
No, they don't. And when you talk about Scrooge, you never really get the true story, which is why we had to get down to the nitty-gritty
the main problem
actual
with Scrooge
truth.
Was there's just so many versions
that
are so different. You're like, they can't all be true.
I'm not even entirely sure that the version of Scrooge we talked to was the real thing.
Yeah.
Was that the real Scrooge? Was it not?
Yeah,
really hard to tell.
Some people in the comments were trying to tell us that Scrooge would not be alive today. So I'm just confused all over the place.
And other Christmas time people, like the Santa Claus, don't even respond to your letters.
Yeah.
Like people always think,
crazy. Like everyone sends him letters all the time.
But where are the responses?
Like I was hoping, we would send him a letter, and then on Christmas morning we would get under our Christmas tree a
response,
letter.
Right? That's all we wanted for Christmas.
That was our entire
that and ballpoint
list.
Pens and black ink.
Yeah.
But no, he doesn't respond, which I honestly find kind of, I'm not going to say rude, but I'm not going to say it's nice.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he just really doesn't want to talk about the Great Pole Wars.
But who can blame him, right? PTSD shows itself in all kinds of ways. Some people, self-destructive habits. Some people make toys for children and deliver them secretly in the night. People handle it in very different ways. But this day, this Christmas time day, today, we are here to talk about Rudolph. We are here to draw Rudolph. We are to bring him into the black and white ink world for you to see, And like we said, you don't really understand Rudolph. We don't really understand Rudolph. He is a complex reindeer, with real feelings and real hurts and real hopes and dreams.
Yes.
Real emo haircuts and all the works, He's got that glowing nose, which let's just take a moment, as we always do on this channel, for self-contemplation. I want you to think for a second that you've been born into a world of color, as we all have been, unless you're really old and you remember the time before color.
Yes.
But imagine waking up one day and your nose has started glowing red. Like it's not black, it's not white. It's like the cyan siren on an ambulance, you know, in your face, between your eyes.
And if it's anything like the cartoon version, it also like makes that annoying sound.
It does. I heard it for myself. It's not pretty, you know. Just let's just take 10 seconds of self-contemplation. What would you feel like if you woke up with Rudolph's nose instead of your own? Now take this time to share your feelings with a neighbor. Actually, scratch that. Take this time to watch the rest of our video.
I think they really upplay it in the movies and stuff. You know, like they're like, oh, he can guide the sleigh.
Yes.
But like, how bright would a nose have to be able to shine through fog?
I know.
Can you imagine if that's just always on your face? Just this red flashlight.
Yeah. Imagine trying to
just
play.
Like you can't look someone in the face because you're blinding them.
Exactly right.
Like it's
trying no
to
wonder.
Look at things.
Like people give the other reindeer a hard rap, and I'll admit the other reindeer are not the nicest of reindeer. But like, if you had a friend with a flashlight for a face, like
bright like a fog.
Yeah,
light.
like a lighthouse.
Yeah. Like, have you ever like been driven? Like you're ever driving your car? And then someone's coming up with their fog lights
on. Those horrifying lights.
And they're just like blinding you.
Yeah.
Like,
you don't feel anything but disdain for that person.
Like, oh, it's so unfortunate that person has such bright lights on their car.
No, you're like, get away from me. You're not playing any reindeer games.
Yeah, right.
Not with I.
No, I would never play Monopoly with you.
I would never play Monopoly.
Like, I can't even see the board.
No,
it's
I can't.
Not fun.
Like, I'm going to
get... And all the pieces look red now. The red ones look white.
You're going to put my eye out, as is the old Christmas saying.
Yeah.
You know? But all of that goes to say that we need to bring the truth about Rudolph to light. See what I did there?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Oh, light. Bring it to light through the medium of ballpoint pen and black ink. The only way that anything is truly conveyed in this life. You know, ballpoint pen and black ink art is really, it's more real than reality. You know? People look at our art sometimes and they're like, wow, that's unlike anything I've ever seen. And it's like, yes, but you understand it. You feel it more than you feel your own life.
Right.
You know, our own life is such a blur. It's probably because of that overwhelming amount of color. You know, we're overstimulated in our own lives. But black and white simplifies things. It helps you to see the hidden truth behind the veil. You know how it goes? You know what I mean?
I do.
And that's why today we are bringing you Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Yes.
Good job, by the way, almost doing nose first style.
Yeah, I mean...
Like snout first.
Snout first.
Snout first. The only real way. Snout first.
Did you know that normal reindeer... Now, obviously, I'm not talking about Santa's reindeers, because his are special and magic and ate, you know, the magic chestnuts that let them... fly and whatnot.
Is that what happened? I always forget if it was chestnuts or water chestnuts.
Well, it was some sort of nut.
I'm
pretty sure it's chestnuts, you know, because you eat the
roasting over an open fire. Yeah. Oh, I wondered why that was a Christmas time thing.
Yeah.
You know, because like who eats chestnuts?
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, we can't easily get access to the magic chestnuts that make you fly.
I know, right? Pixie dust and magic chestnuts, the two things just out of reach.
But normal reindeer, only the females have antlers in a... Oh, yeah, we should probably show you guys what I'm drawing.
Yeah, you know, that's generally...
Yeah. Now, just imagine that I drew that snout first, as we mentioned earlier.
Yep, see, I like how we painted an image in the mind, you know?
Yeah, before you saw
the image with your eyes. You know, we don't want to be overwhelming, as we just talked about.
But as I was saying, normal reindeer... only the females have antlers during wintertime. So lots of people are like, oh, that means all the reindeer are women. But that's because those are
not real reindeer.
Yeah,
not
reindeer.
Magic reindeer, all the rules go out. They have antlers all year. You know how creepy it is, by the way, that reindeer and all deer and moose, they grow antlers and then they just fall off. How gross is that?
Yeah.
Imagine if you grew something out of the top of your head, and then like any part of you, and then it just fell off for half the year.
Yeah.
You'd be like, "Ugh, why did I even have that thing?" You know? There it is. There's the hair that we saw with our own eyes. The emo haircut.
Yeah, just like way out in there. And
Quite the angsty reindeer.
And then he kind of has like somewhat of a mohawk type thing. Just
I mean, that's just
like it's not quite as much as like a horse, but
no. Again, if you don't quite understand why he has emo hair, go back and read our descriptions over the last couple of weeks. We'll really get into the details of, what this angsty boy was like. But here's the deal.
What is the deal?
Well, I was going to get to the deal. That's how you start. You say, here's the deal. You giving him a finger, like where you can point?
No, it's just like a hoof.
Oh, I see.
Like,
Now it's evened out. It makes more sense.
He's a reindeer, not a person.
But here's the deal.
So he is standing on two legs.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that, but, it makes sense.
Yeah.
You ever see a dog walking around on two legs and you just kind of like, what demon dog is this? Something worse about a reindeer, I think. Just something about creatures that were meant to be on four legs being on two is really quite disturbing. Although, I don't know. It kind of looks like a puppet at this point. But here's the thing.
What is the thing?
The thing is that reindeer games are actually pretty fun.
Right. I mean, they kind of picked the worst board game.
Yeah, I mean, here's the deal.
But it's fun because it's a reindeer game.
Yeah, because when you play Monopoly, no one likes a game of Monopoly. Most people don't even finish a game of Monopoly because they either get too bored or too angry. When you play Monopoly with reindeer, I think that's like the way it was meant to be played.
Right.
Because there's just something about landing on boardwalk, but it's the boardwalk owned by a reindeer. And you're like, come on, Prancer, I don't have money to pay. And he's like, well, you better mortgage your train station. And you're like, well, but I don't want to mortgage my train station. But he's like, but I have a hotel. And you're like, all right, Prancer, I get it. And then Vixen's like, come on, guys, don't fight. Because Vixen's really lame. But you really feel a sense of Christmas.
Yeah.
I don't remember this. But, I'm going to leave this in your capable hands. This is Rudolph.
Yeah, this is a story. This wasn't part of our story. This was pre our story.
It's true. This is Rudolph.
Like this, you'll see it in a bit, but this is kind of like an origin.
I can't understand the angle at which this person is existing.
Yeah, you'll understand it eventually, perhaps.
You ever think that the reindeer feel like just used by Santa Claus?
I mean, it depends. Do you feel used by your boss? Like, if you're paid properly...
No, but, here's the thing.
And, they're paid in magic,
Chestnuts?
Chestnuts.
Yeah, that's the
which, thing. If I was paid in magic chestnuts, I'd probably be even more willing to do my job.
I mean, maybe, but here's the thing. If your boss ever is like, come on into my office, and he straps you to his sled and makes you pull him around the workplace...
Wait, yours doesn't?
Well, no. Wait.
Oh.
What happens in your job?
Maybe I have to talk to my boss.
Yeah, because
I thought that's what all jobs did.
There is a level of, compliance I'm not willing to agree with, to comply with. What the heck is Rudolph doing to this poor man? Using the force?
Yeah,
he's real strong.
He punched him.
He punched him?
Yeah.
Okay, this is taking a dark and angsty turn. Why is he punching him? Is this something going on at the North Pole we should know about? HR needs to get involved? You are rude.
So basically this guy walks up to this reindeer with a shiny nose. And then the reindeer with the shiny nose like kind of like bumps him a little bit or whatever as he's walking by.
Yeah.
And this guy like turns and is like, "You're rude." And then at the sound of being called rude, Rudolph punches him.
Are you trying to explain that this is how Rudolph got his name?
Yeah, like I'm saying it's not his name.
Oh.
I'm saying it's like it's a nickname.
Now I feel bad for calling him that all the time.
Like he goes by this because it's like, you call me rude, you're gonna be saying old.
Yes, because that's a normal human sound that people make.
Yeah, well, when you get punched in the stomach, like hard enough to leave the ground.
Yeah, but like, do you say Ulf?
Yeah,
Ulf, like that many syllables that are escaping?
100% of the time.
Ulf.
That someone gets hit in the stomach hard enough to leave the ground.
Ulf.
They say Ulf. Like, Ulf.
Okay. Oh, well, thank you for demonstrating the proper pronunciation.
So this was like, "You are rude." Ulf.
Ulf. Wow, you shook when you said that. That is quite unfortunate.
You can't say it without shaking.
I mean, I did. But I guess I didn't have the quite... It's like when people are like, "You're not saying it right," in a different language, and you're like, you're not, rolling your R's enough or anything. Yeah. This is like, you're not physically shaking enough. Mm-hmm. Wow. I mean, that's basically how sign language was invented, right? They're like, "I know you're speaking, but you're not shaking enough," right? Like, you gotta shake some of those body parts a little bit more. You can't possibly be done with your drawing already. Well, we're not 4.5 hours into it.
I could be done.
You were rude, Ulf. Ulf. As I shake with convulsion.
As you're trying to say it properly.
Uh-huh.
Here, we'll put over here a little reindeer game.
I want to pose a question to you while you draw this reindeer game. Mm-hmm. Is Rudolph the only one with a shiny nose? Or are there like other reindeer with shiny noses? Is this like a once in a generation thing? Is this like a 1 in 10,000 reindeer is going to be born with?
That is like is it like every like Santa's sleigh is always led by a reindeer with a red nose? Yeah,
but he can't possibly have been. Maybe he was the first. Mm-hmm. But I can't believe there's only ever been one.
With how much everyone makes fun of him, they must not be that common. It must not be like, or maybe everyone was making fun of him because they're like, "Oh, he was born to be the lead."
Yeah, like it's a jealousy thing. Yeah, right.
Like they're just like, "Oh, he."
It's a total jealousy thing. They're like, "Oh, he's the chosen one," nobody likes the chosen one. Go watch any movies.
Yeah, they always like he was born, and it's like, "Oh, okay, here's the chosen one."
I mean, just look at what happened to Jesus. They didn't like him. Mm-hmm. He was the true chosen one.
Prophets never accepted in his own town.
Nor a glowing reindeer in the North Pole, as the prophecies say.
Yeah.
But like, how many reindeer do you think? Like 1 in a million? Because that's a lot of reindeer. How many reindeer are there on Earth, do you think? Mm-hmm. Like, that's a question we should look into.
Yeah.
I'll look it up. How many reindeer are there on Earth? Because you think about this with, like, certain animals, and you're shocked sometimes. Like, how many... It's like when you read the statistic. I was watching some...
Like when they know how many, that's when it's shocking.
I think I was watching some...
Like, if you looked up how many cats are there on Earth,
how you know that, right?
Like, it's just...
Like, you go into a neighborhood and you count how many are sleeping on cars, under cars and stuff. And like, probably that many times every neighborhood on Earth.
Yeah.
But... I was watching a comedian one time that was talking about, like, how many... Oddly enough, the comedian was talking about this. How many sharks are killed every year? There's like 100 million sharks are killed every year. And it's like, if you... Like, I didn't even know there's 100 million sharks at all. Mm-hmm. Better yet, 100 million dying, and the population is still thriving, apparently.
It's probably not thriving.
How many reindeer are there on Earth? I don't know if you really need to specify the on Earth part.
Are there reindeer not on Earth?
There's like the ones they sent into space, I guess. Like how many...
Like what color nose do you have to have before you're sent in space?
Okay. Also, I'm just going to point out another reindeer fact for you folks at home. If you've ever heard of a caribou, which, is what they named that one coffee place after.
There's a coffee place?
Caribou coffee. Yeah, caribou coffee. Anyway, caribou and reindeer are the exact same animal. Just two different names for the same animal. That's odd to me. I don't know why they do that. Like, why are they making things confusing? Why are caribou and reindeer the exact same animal? According to my random Google search, there seems to be somewhere between 2.4 and 2.1 million reindeer. So, I mean, 1 in a million would mean there's like 2 of them running around.
Right.
You know?
It's like you would think would be reasonable. Like if there's one.
Like, is it like a you know, like a supernatural thing? Like there's gonna be some movie about like the chosen one, the one reindeer born every generation that has the glowing nose, and then like the people who are trying to ruin Christmas that are trying to hunt down, you know, you have like a hunter. You know, like Elmer Fudd, but evil, or
like hates
Christmas, and is like, I need to find the one reindeer.
If the red-nosed reindeer isn't there,
there'll be no Christmas. Santa will get lost in the fog.
Yep.
You know, and he's like, I will mount that reindeer on my wall, and I'll stick a light bulb where his nose goes. And
would his nose continue glowing?
I don't think so. I think he would have to like taxidermy in a light bulb, you know, like an LED situation. This is kind of morbid, but by the way, why'd you draw a wolf?
I'm just playing a reindeer game.
Oh, I see. That's a wolf on the left with. Is it supposed to be a reindeer?
Which one?
The one on the left. It's like a mixture of a wolf and a polar bear.
It's an animal playing reindeer.
Okay, I think we can all agree it's an animal of some sort, right? Like, let's not get too specific or anything.
We're over, you know, I just wanted to make it clear that we're near the North Pole. Like, obviously not at the North Pole because, like,
no,
only one person can be at the North Pole. Everyone else is just near it.
Yeah, like only one person can stick their tongue to it at a time. Right?
Yeah, I mean, maybe 2 if you get real close with your tongues, but...
Is he getting punched because of the reindeer game now?
He's getting punched because he called him rude.
Oh, this is just all happening at the North Pole. I should say near the North Pole.
This guy in his t-shirt and shorts was at the North Pole.
That guy's tougher than I thought.
Near the North Pole.
He's wearing like his slippers too. Yeah.
Like he was just taking a stroll out near the North Pole.
As you do.
In
your slippers. And you happened upon a wolf bear and a reindeer playing reindeer games.
You gotta be relatively tough to challenge a reindeer, calling it rude.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Although I didn't realize the strength reindeer had.
You walk by a magical reindeer with a glowing nose that bumps into you slightly, and you're like,
rude.
You rude.
Oh.
You gotta be tough.
I understand now. You know, the next time I'm up north visiting the pole, you know, I will remember this if I bump into any reindeer.
Yeah, with your shorts and t-shirt.
Oh yeah, I mean, because what else do you wear on a nice brisk North Pole day? Like, there's like a total perspective thing. Is he about to sit on the wolf bear? Or
no, they're closer to us, but smaller.
Okay. They're just real tiny. That's totally what I expected you to say. Closer, not farther away. No.
That's one of those situations.
Wow.
You know how it is.
See,
so
this is why these archives are going to be so important.
If you have a camera, and you have the way the camera works has a lens that is inverted.
Following you, lens.
Yeah, an inverted lens.
Inside out.
You can actually take a picture that is done in such a way that farther away things look bigger and closer things look smaller.
Yes, I have seen this in movies from time to time where they do that effect.
So this picture of this event that was captured was taken with one of those cameras.
Someone is like taking this as like this is like a vacation picture that they were trying to take a picture of the pole.
They were trying to do like a unique picture with the pole that made it look big even though it was far away.
I see.
Because like the pole's really far away.
Oh yes.
And so they were trying to do like a perspective picture.
Yes, totally. No, I see it now.
Of the reindeer game and the thing back there.
Yeah.
But the they just happened to catch this.
You just know that they're back home getting out their slides to show the family of the recent family vacation. They didn't
realize that this happened.
No.
They're like, oh yeah, we got that cool perspective picture of the pole.
It's one of those cool things when you like go to get your film developed and you're like, oh my gosh, what did we capture here? You know? I imagine this is like there's like a blackmail situation going on too with Rudolph. They're like, I don't know, you want us to mention this to Santa?
I think Rudolph's fine with that.
Yeah, you're probably
Rudolph is kind of like known as being the bad boy.
If you look at that haircut, he totally knows, right? And that's the thing. He's gonna be like, "Well, what are you gonna do, Santa? Fire me? Yeah. Reindeers like me only come around every once in
Can you even drive your sleigh?
I'm one in a million. You gonna let down all the children, Santa?
That's one of the problems with Rudolph. It's like
he's kind of
everyone's always like, "Oh, Rudolph was like bullied, and then Santa came and saved him and brought him, gave him a job, and now everyone's like, okay, we kind of like you now a little bit."
Like you feel bad for him.
It went to his head.
Yeah, it really did.
Immediately.
That slightly creepy stop motion movie about Rudolph really makes him seem. He's got like an eternal stuffy nose in that, and like a girlfriend and dentists love him, and you're like, is this the real Rudolph? It's not. No. This is the real Rudolph.
This is the real Rudolph. Like he knows he can do anything.
Yeah.
And he will be the leader.
Yeah, and it's why he gets his nickname because of the multiple people he's sucker punched.
Yeah, this is not the first time.
No, it's not. Yeah, you don't gain a nickname for doing it.
He's learned how to punch people in such a way that they will always
say Ulf, and they're always calling him rude.
Yeah, Yeah, he does something rude, so that people call him rude, so that he can immediately punch them.
He's got to do it at least once a day to keep his reputation.
Yeah,
I can't wait for the movie about this version to come out. It's really they're gonna sell way less Rudolph T-shirts and mugs the next year.
Yeah, and now's the time where I look up how to spell Rudolph.
Yeah, is it an L or is it a PH?
Yep, and yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be those wouldn't replace each other.
Yeah, well, you never know.
like it's an L or a PH. Because the PH sound makes the same sound as the L.
Rudolph is such an old-fashioned name. Nobody can name their kid Rudolph nowadays. They would always be made fun of for their name. And parents, if they really knew the real Rudolph, they wouldn't want to.
Like 100%, no matter what color your nose is, you'd be made fun of about your nose.
It's true. It really is true.
Well, I think this is my drawing.
I think that's what I'm seeing. Unfortunately. I've been doing some research on Rudolph.
I'll save this drawing while you entertain.
I don't know if there's any saving it at this point. Like it's bad enough. I've been looking up the origin of Rudolph, right? Why is he called Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer? What does Rudolph mean even? And Rudolph has like its origin, in German. Rudolph, like it sounds German. Like the person who says it sounds like they're gonna hurt you, and it's how the German language sounds. You've all heard it.
I mean, it's definitely a German.
Yeah, but what does it mean? It means famous wolf or glory wolf.
Glory wolf.
Glory wolf, right? So why is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer? It's literally famous wolf, the red-nosed reindeer. Glory wolf, the reindeer. Like that. I mean, you hear that right away. You call somebody Glory Wolf the reindeer, you expect him to be like a Viking or like at least frequent a biker bar from time to time. He's got a leather jacket with like a skull and crossbones of like another reindeer on the back of it. He mounts reindeer antlers to the hood of his truck. Like that's Glory Wolf the reindeer. Like you don't double cross him. People understood his name. They wouldn't.
Yeah, because that goes along with the whole concept of Rudolph.
It does.
Like people think Rudolph is just this victim that was finally given a chance.
He's not.
But no, it's like he likes the glory.
He does.
Like from the moment he was born with that red nose, he was like, I'm the chosen one.
Exactly.
That will pull the sleigh. And everyone just hates that about him.
They do.
Like, he kind of hides the nose, with his hair, with his emo hair. But it's not because he's, like... It's not out of... What is that?
That's Rudolph.
What's the bottom?
It's the bottom jaw.
Is that the hand?
It's the jaw.
Like
This is the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
The bottom. I mean, it's not quite the shape I was going for, but
yeah, I was just saying though, Rudolph doesn't hide his nose out of shame. It's almost more of pride. Like, it's one of those things where like he'll come in and he tries to like show off, like, I'm better than even my nose.
Exactly
like,
right.
I'm not the chosen one just because of my nose. I'm the chosen one because I'm the best.
Uh-huh.
And then, but he'll also show off. Like, he'll like push his hair to the side, whip it around.
Yeah, it's true.
Show off his nose.
Yeah, he's very. He's a reindeer that needs the Lord. He needs someone to take him under their wing and be like, it's okay. You don't have to be so angsty anymore. Mm-hmm. But
yeah.
he's like, magical, so I guess he lives forever.
Like, you have value how you are.
It's true.
Not because of the red nose, not because of being rude.
Yeah.
But what's up with his teeth?
I'm realizing maybe this isn't Rudolph. Because he's quite scary looking. So we're not gonna call that one Rudolph. We're gonna go with
what is this reindeer's name? Is it even a reindeer?
I don't know.
Is there
I'll come up with a name for this.
Is there a scarier reindeer?
Maybe. I don't know. I'll come up with a name for him. Mm-hmm. I will. It'll have to be something German if we're really gonna go. Like, it'll be like very guttural sounds. It'll have all the. It'll sound like gargling gravel, angrily.
Right.
Whenever we get there. We'll get there. I'll come up with a name before the end of the video. Anyway, I'm going to draw Rudolph as a child.
Oh,
because he wasn't always the angsty reindeer we know today. He had a deep backstory that led him to be, the way he was when we met him.
Right.
So I'm going to draw like a younger, chipper reindeer. Someone happy with who he is, and he's going to have a. Let's see what I can do here.
You could name him this that I looked up. See if it'll play in the microphone here. I don't know if people were able to hear that.
I know I couldn't.
But Gurgle and Keys.
Gurgle? That's gurgle?
Gargling gravel.
Gurgling Keys?
Yeah.
Gurgle and Keys. We'll draw some gravel coming out of the mouth.
His teeth look like he gargled gravel.
I'd like to point out that my Rudolph isn't going so well.
Oh, that's just like a circle with a sandwich and an olive on top. This is the derpiest.
I'm not happy with it. I feel like the placement of this.
Oh, it's so far away from the other eye. Why did the other pupil just a dot in this one?
I don't know.
So, and the way you did that, now his head looks so flat. Like,
ever meet a kid? And you look at that kid, especially babies. Babies suffer from this greatly. and the parents are like, "Isn't he so cute?" And you look at it and you're like, "That is the ugliest child," you know. And it's where the phrase, I think, having a face only a mother could love comes from, you know, because the mother looks at the child and they're like, "Oh, isn't he beautiful?" And you're like, "Are you sure it's human?" What? Is it human? Because
its head flat.
Its head is long. It's such the wrong color.
The eye is
there's patches
the wrong
of hair.
Spot.
It can't seem to focus. Its eyes, its head's just like limp. You're like, is it okay? And they're like, he's beautiful. And everyone else is lying. And they're like, he's so cute. And you're like, are you looking at the same?
Like, isn't it wrong to lie?
Yeah. It's like all the church ladies are ogling it. You're like, I don't know if we should.
Let me give you parents advice.
Don't have ugly kids.
Ask people if your kid is cute.
Yeah, because they will have to lie.
Because they either have to lie, or what are they going to do? Just walk away? Because I can assure you.
I mean, maybe that's what we need to start doing.
If you have a child that is under the age of 7 months, it's probably ugly. Like,
not always. There are those abnormally cute babies.
I'm saying probably. Not you may have that rare
1 in a million.
Yeah, that rare cute baby.
Yeah.
That once they get older, toddlers are almost always cute.
It's true. They're always toddling.
But before that,
yeah, there's not much hope. So yeah, stop asking people if your baby is cute. Yeah, that's two poor artists' advice.
You're just making them lie.
Basically. Because no one...
I mean, unless you ask one of us, we will tell you the truth, but you won't like it.
No, you won't. We'll be like, it looks like something I would have... Oh, gosh. Speaking of which...
Why is it... What? Which leg is in front?
Oh, this... Oh, no. What?
There's so much wrong.
I kind of like it. It's like an optical illusion.
It's the derpiest optical illusion. And is he wearing little socks on the tips?
Those are his hooves, man.
But why are they forward? And then also, why does he have feet? Reindeers don't have forward feet.
He's wearing socks, okay? He's wearing... The tips of his toes got cold.
Yeah, but again, why does he have toes?
I don't know.
He's a reindeer.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Is he
gonna get eaten by this gravel gargling reindeer?
That's his dad.
I don't like this drawing. This is one of those things where it's is it cute or is it the most disturbing thing you've ever seen? You know, there's that phrase, ugly cute.
Yeah.
This but it's just so ugly. I don't think it gets to be called ugly cute. That is mom. What's mom worse than his dad?
Well, I mean, who's gonna marry? What's his name? Gargle Graveler.
Gargling geese or whatever.
Yeah, gargle geese or whatever. Gargle geese? That can't be right.
It's geese.
Gargle geese.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, who marries gargle geese? I don't know. Someone. I'll come up with her name too. What is she? She's got her face isn't quite right.
Now I understand Rudolph.
Yeah, right? This is what I'm trying to...
Now that I see what he looked like as a kid.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we call her.
This Rudolph.
Her name...
It's mouth still.
Her name is going to be...
Connect to its head.
Her name is going to be, let's see. It'll be Cunnerin Mutter. Literally mother, which means it means snarling mother. You know, like snarling.
I see it.
The mother. You know, like that's
this Rudolph though. Looks like you take a deer, and we'll just pretend like the body's okay because it's the best part by far.
Thank you.
You take a deer, and you just instead of a head, you just stick a flat piece of paper in the shape of almost a circle, and then you just like glue onto that, like some a legs. Sandwich, and some circles.
I think those are like eggs, like hard-boiled eggs cut in half.
Yeah,
yeah, their eyes.
Like nothing matches up. Like they didn't even try.
I mean, I didn't say they had to try.
Like that one eye, that's like looking at us. It's like on the side of the head.
Yeah,
and the other one is like on the same side of the head, but like a little bit less.
This is our hero, the hero of the story. You know?
that eye that's farther away from us is like the middle of the face, and then the other eye is like on the side.
Yeah, I give him some polka dots. That's cute.
This is like now it's kind of like it's supposed to be one of the like My Little Pony characters.
Yeah.
But like the worst one. And I don't mean Derpy, the My Little Pony character.
Is there a My Little Pony called Derpy?
Yeah. It used to be a background character, but it like looked derpy. So people like fans started calling it Derpy, and then it like became a character.
That's quite interesting. But
Rudolph is way derpier.
Apparently.
And so much worse.
Let's see. I'll try to fix Rudolph by giving him a companion.
I don't think that would make sense. I think judging by every other character you drawn,
this is gonna be You see, it's already better.
I don't think so. Is this? It's so weird.
Thank you.
Like it's like a Furby.
It kind of is. But no, this is a penguin.
What? That's not. What penguins? The penguins don't have their face on their bellies.
This one does.
This is a Furby. This is what Furby looks like.
What did Furbies say? Like they say, "Give me a soul."
What? Like why? Like why is its face on the white part of its belly?
It's supposed to be cuter looking.
Like, have you ever seen a penguin?
Yeah, that helps.
They don't have their face on the white parts of their belly.
I don't know. What did Furbies say? They just said syllables, right? Like,
well, they spoke
do and boo and da.
They spoke their own language, and you had to teach them English, but like no one was really able to.
It'll just be like, boo, ba, doink, blah. But it's endearing because it's a penguin.
No, but it's not. It's a Furby.
I mean, is it? You know how Rudolph talks in the the stop motion one? Like this Rudolph looks like that. Right?
No.
Maybe
this Rudolph can't talk. It doesn't have a mouth.
I'll give him a tuft of hair.
Like, oh, that's worse. Like this Rudolph, its mouth can't move.
Because it's a sandwich.
Yeah. With an olive on top.
Yeah. I mean, but look at his parents, man. They're basically rat people.
Like, he's not a reindeer. Neither are they.
She's just like rat people.
Like, he wanted to be a reindeer, and he wished it. And
I mean,
Santa, made him more or he's dressed up like a reindeer. Like, that's why it looks so weird. He's like, that is a sandwich. And those eyes are just painted on. Like, he's a rat person that's trying to dress up like a reindeer.
Okay, so when we met Rudolph, he was angsty and, he clearly had a rough life despite being relatively young. So, we need to understand how he got there, you know? Like, how Rudolph got there. So what did angry rat reindeer parents say? They say things, I don't know, like maybe we'll come back to what they said once I've given it some proper thought. Let's draw some trees. I think this is the exact same thing I did in the drawing last time. Just like filled the background with generic trees.
The tree is that in the foreground?
I think what you mean is it's the best thing in your drawing, Isaac. Good job.
Yes, but like it's so small if it's in the foreground.
Possibly. It's hard to say. It's a tiny tree. Okay, like it's a baby tree. It and Rudolph relate to each other.
Rudolph's legs, they're so wrinkly and saggy.
I've stopped looking at them. I would recommend everybody else avert their eyes. You know,
like he doesn't have a saggy butt.
No, he doesn't.
That's
the best thing. It's nice, and that's the best thing you can say about someone.
Also, like I know that what you were trying to do is give him like a spot on his neck. But like it just
looks like it's been like in the mouth of a wolf. You know, like
yeah,
he barely survived.
Like his chest like comes out more now, and his neck is smaller and it's like wounded.
It's not wounded. It's not a wound.
The scar of a wound.
I mean, maybe. Okay, so there's Rudolph. Rat parents, rat.
I looked at his face again.
Stop! Just don't look at Rudolph. I know what the title of his drawing is.
Look at the tree.
I know it's
the Furby.
I know it's tempting to look.
I mean, the Furby is definitely the cutest thing in this drawing.
Thank you. See, you were giving
me
a hard time earlier. Now you realize.
No, it's not a compliment.
It's meant to distract.
It's just in comparison.
I do not understand what these lines are supposed to represent. Just somewhere in the distance.
Wait, are there stars?
I think they're snowflakes. Snowflakes.
So are these trees like racing?
That's what I mean. It totally looks like a racetrack.
The trees are just zooming by.
Maybe they're getting out.
They're those famous zooming trees.
They're getting away from Rudolph's parents. You know? Okay, so now we go back to what Rudolph's loving parents would say. They'll say things like, "Dad's just." This explains a lot, doesn't it? Like you met him with me.
Mm-hmm.
You saw the attitude, the angst. This child has none of that so far. He's just innocent and has a penguin companion. But his parents will say things like. Stick to the shadows. You know, like that's.
Like what?
Like, what does it mean? I don't know.
Well, what does he mean by that?
Yeah. I leave that up to your interpretation.
Like,
stick to the shadows, kid. You know,
like the training Rudolph to be like an assassin.
I don't think it's not that kind of stick to the shadows. It's like
he's a rat and he's hiding from the people.
Let's see what else. Mom will just be like, trust no one. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's just general gruff parents, you know.
I don't think those are things the gruffest of parents usually say.
I mean, maybe.
Unless they're rats. Pretending to be reindeer.
That would explain a lot, right?
Birth to the chosen.
They're like RUSs.
Is that where they all went?
Maybe.
After they left the swamp. The fire swamp. And then they pretended to be
I feel like they need something else to say.
Like at this point in his life, does he know he's the chosen one?
I don't think he does. I don't think he started glowing yet.
Yes, this is like pre-glowing.
Uh-huh. feel like if he knew, his parents would be like exploiting him for financial gain. You know, to feed their cigarette habit or something terrible.
They're like, does he just like wish to be a real reindeer? And then he goes and like eats some, you know, magical chestnuts and just gets the glowy nose along with the transformation. Love no one.
Stick to the shadows.
Light is for losers.
See, that one's gonna really stick with him.
When he gets his glowing
nose. Yeah, that one's gonna haunt him. You know, it's like his parents' advice.
Yeah, the last thing my parents ever said to me before they chose to leave on their own.
Yeah, exactly. You know, he's been on his own for a long time. This is the tree.
The tree.
The tree feels sympathy. They're dropped out of the race to come console him. And Rudolph's just kind of derpy and doesn't quite understand it. He's just kind of absorbing all this for later in life.
He's not even looking at his parents. Like, he doesn't know what's going on.
He doesn't really get it.
He doesn't even know there's a Furby on his back.
It's not Furby, it's a penguin. Every main character needs a sidekick. How'd you spell Rudolph?
R
with a PH, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I need. I mean, this is a sad drawing. You know, I'm sorry, everyone. Rudolph.
Yes.
You know, this is rough. When you have rat parents and an illiterate sidekick, what is it called when you just can't speak in sentences? It just squeaks and
I don't.
Is there a word?
Non-verbal.
Is there a word for that? I feel like there's got to be more to this story too, right? Just, you know, he's not hardened enough yet.
There's definitely something between this and my drawing.
Yeah, there is. There really is. This is just like the beginning, you know. Like there's a chance for him here, you know. But his rat parents are gonna leave. Something's gonna happen to the penguin. It's gonna wander off into a blizzard and never be seen again. Someone's gonna be like, "Wait, you're a penguin. You're supposed to be at the South Pole," and he just instantly goes to the South Pole. You know. Yeah,
like someone mistakes the Furby for a penguin and sends them to the South Pole.
Rudolph's gonna snap out of the weird haze he's in. He looks like he's grown 2 legs on the left side.
Like, someone could take a quick glance at this picture and be like, "Oh, that's a cute Rudolph with a penguin on his back," and then you just like take a second glance.
I think,
and you're like, "That is no part of it is cute." like look at any part.
Yeah, I know. Like,
and it's so weird.
It is. It's really rough. Like, okay, just take your hand if you will, and cover
why
everything.
Are both legs on the same side?
I'm convinced actually that I could fix that with one line.
Yeah, I think.
But I'm not. I don't want to. I think I realized where I went wrong. I think it's just one line, but I'm not. It's too late. The Christmas trees have already started their annual race. Like, you know, reindeer games. These are pine tree games. Like, there's a lot of games up north. This drawing got a bit away from me. I'll admit.
Like, I think this is just one of those instances where every part of the drawing was not what you expected it to be. Like the dad was supposed to be Rudolph, and it's just
he was
immediately no.
He couldn't be. You know,
like this would have been a very different drawing. if that was Rudolph.
I kind of want to see the frame to the left of this to just see what's attached to those rat mouths.
I actually kind of want to see what the original drawing was going to be, like with Rudolph off screen and just his nose.
I don't even remember. Like it's gotten away from me so much that every memory of the original idea is just left.
This is true for art. This is what we do this for.
Despite the depressing nature of this drawing and our incessant laughter to help us cope. This is what two poor artists are all about. You know, this
just putting pen to paper
and just whatever shows up.
Like being like, I have an idea, it's going to be hilarious, and then you draw the first 3 lines and you're like, okay, no. I'm going to do something different entirely.
Hear me out.
And then you draw more lines and you're just like, okay, yeah. I can't do it 180 again.
No, there's just no hope left. Every line was just a new mistake. I think I figured it out. If you take your hand and you cover up every part of the drawing to the left, except you stop, and all you can see are the 3 dots on the rump of Rudolph and his tail. Like, if you cover up all of Rudolph except that, you cover up that one janky leg, you just see like part of the one back leg, the 3 dots in the tail. He's kind of cute.
Plus, if you also, like, while you're doing that, cover up like the left half of the Furby, it also gets a lot cuter.
Oh, that's interesting. It does. This is. There's gonna have to be directions on how to view this in the gallery.
Like,
you know,
cover up.
That's why these.
So all you see is half of the penguin, the rump, and the trees.
Yes, half a penguin, the rump, and the trees. Not a horrible drawing. You do start to wonder. At that point, though, it becomes a mystery. Where, like, why is the tree saying sorry, kid? You're like, what happened?
Then that's when you uncover it.
This drawing's gonna have to hang in the gallery with like a slider, you know, that covers up everything. Yeah. And it's like, just trust us. You want to leave the slider here. You know, you don't want to look at anything to the left. Yeah. But then you see the Christmas tree apologizing, and you're like, but I'm really curious.
I want to know.
And then your whole day's ruined when you slide it to the left.
Yeah. You should have listened to the instructions.
That's why these historical documents that we create, these videos, are going to be really important for the gallery. Mm-hmm. You know how people are like, I went to the gallery this weekend and I stood in front of a painting. You know, they stood in front of it for an hour, you know, contemplating the deeper meanings of the universe and life and death and love and just by looking at art. Mm-hmm. You won't have to do that with our art because you'll be able to sit there, put on headphones, and listen for an hour as we explain the art.
Well, I mean, each art isn't an hour. Each of our videos is an hour, but that's.
I mean, I imagine they're going to hang side by side.
Right, so you would just like listen to the whole video.
You take half a step to the left, and you keep listening.
Right.
There'll be like footprints painted on the ground for the audio tour. Yeah, people are really big into audio tours and galleries.
Mm-hmm. We'll have the best audio tour.
Yes, we will, because it's already done.
Yes.
Woo! Made it through this drawing. Now, here's the thing. I'll end today with this plug, this pitch to you. Mm-hmm. We're going to have a new video out on Wednesday, on Christmas.
Yes, Christmas Day.
That's the plan. The Two Poor Artists 200th video Christmas extravaganza telethon special.
Yes.
It's a mouthful, but trust me, it'll be worth your time. Mm-hmm. We're going to be raising money for the Two Poor Artists Hotel.
Yes.
Another year has passed on this channel, and we don't have a hotel in which to hang our art. And really, we don't understand why. So, you know, we're just trying to take things into our own hands this Christmas season. Mm-hmm.
You figure people love to give money at the end of the year.
Yeah, I mean,
for tax reasons.
It's true.
Or whatever.
Christmas night might not be about giving, but people seem to really like doing it around Christmas time. You know, pretend you're the Magi of old, and we're the newborn king. I guess. Give us your gold. You can keep your perfumes and your frankincense and myrrh. Donate those
unless they're like valuable.
I mean,
but yeah,
mostly we want your credit card
donate
information.
Them to your local priest and/or mummy.
Yeah, that's totally what I was gonna say. But here's the thing. Merry Christmas, and we'll see you on Wednesday.
Bye.
As always, we're surprised you made it this far into our video.
There's no way we could possibly ask you to subscribe to this atrocity, so we won't.
We would say share it with your friends, but it's probably better for wasting your enemy's time.
We're probably not going to get any better, but we will keep drawing.
See you next time.